Hey, Puma here. I am in Japan right now. This is my long layover. I've been here. I'm only going to be here for 2 days, but I wanted to speak about how I managed to make money. For hiking or for traveling, for that matter. How am I able to travel like this? Specifically with the money. So ever since I was in my early 20s, maybe even in my late teens, I've always wanted to travel, but I've never had the money or the opportunity or the parents to take me, to all these places that I wanted, especially hiking. So I started working. I started working when I was 18, 19, working odd jobs, customer service, clothing stores, whatnot, any type of job. And then I saved up while I was in college too. So during college, I kept working odd jobs until I finished my degree, which is in finance. And when I finished my degree, I actually started looking for jobs require a finance degree, and I was able to get a job at Prudential as a financial analyst. So that was my first job, my only job as a finance analyst in any company really. But that was my first experience, after college, just getting into a good finance job for a bit and just learning, and then you're working and saving all the money that I could. And when I was working as a financial analyst, reporting on technology stocks for the most part, I came upon the cryptocurrency market, and I studied a little bit, and I didn't think it was a good idea to invest. But the only thing that caused me to double think my assessment was Bitcoin. So after learning what the crypto market was and saying, oh no, this is a scam basically, the only crypto coin that was kind of different, and I wouldn't even say a crypto, Bitcoin's more like a commodity. Bitcoin was the only different one. It was the one that actually made sense, that actually is trying to do something good for the world. So after studying it for like maybe a month in 2020, about December, I said hell with it. I went all in and I put all my savings, all my money into Bitcoin. So that was one of the first investments I made, because up to that point I was just spending my money, doing whatever I wanted, and not really caring about where my money was going, right? So after going all in into Bitcoin, I was given a good return maybe within a year, and I was able to do stuff with that. And I finally realized, like the way out of poverty was to invest. So I started investing more. I went all into Bitcoin, and then I diversified a little bit, maybe 80%, 20%, and I put the other 20% into tech stocks, basically Tesla, Apple, and Nvidia, stuff like that. So that was my second, I guess, investment. And that's so with these two going good for me, I was able to kind of quit my job and go into the adventures that I wanted, but not full time, not full time. Because while I'm okay now, it's not permanent. It's not like I'm retired or anything. I still need to work and stuff. Okay, this way. But yeah, that's how I'm managing to fund my trips and stuff. Unfortunately, my investments went down because I don't know if you follow it, but Bitcoin just dropped like 50% within the last 3 months. So I realized I lost 50%. but I don't really worry too much, you know. I don't sell, and that's the thing with investments, it goes up and down, but I'm sure it's gonna go up again, you know, sometime. So after investing, I tried making businesses. My first business, I remember trying to import export. So I went to Peru, that's where I'm from originally, and the alpaca what's it called, clothing, the alpaca cloth is very cheap over there, so since it's from there, right? And I tried to import some clothing items to the US, and I opened up a store, not physical, digitally on online. And unfortunately I wasn't ready for the losses, but it wasn't a big loss, you know, but I did lose money doing that. My second business, which I'm kind of doing now, so to preface, I actually started coding. I'm a programmer as well. I can program, so I can make apps and websites and whatnot, you know. So the second business is basically that's what I do. I find clients, I program for whatever the needs, coding for whatever their needs, and I charge them, and maybe keep a maintenance cost too if they require that too, you know. So that's my second business. It's not a big business, it's a small business, but that can also help me out whenever I need to make money. But for the most part, it's just my investments that is carrying me in my adventures. All right, so we're gonna go in here, and it's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, you know, the PCT is very expensive, to be honest. Last time I tried, I did 1,000 miles in 2022, and it was like I was already like 5,000. I already had spent like 5,000 within 1,000 miles, and I was already going over budget, so it can be very expensive. This time I'm trying to go without spending too much money. I want to see, because last time I went off, I just went to every hotel, I bought anything I wanted, drank anything I want, ate it wherever I wanted, and I can add up very much. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna have to stay quiet though. So yeah, that's how I make money, you know, and I'm gonna try to spend the least amount of money while I'm on the PCT, and I'm actually gonna open up a store specifically for PCT items. I think that could help me and could be a very beneficial business for me and the people watching me, you know, because sometimes you want to get a shirt, I want to get a shirt, and I've seen online for clothing, for the PCT clothing, but I really haven't found any like good quality stuff. And I've tested some items online, and they can be a little pricey, but I think you can find good quality, or I can give you the quality, you know. So that may happen, that may be a thing. So I'm thinking of just building a website and putting all the clothing that I find online into one specific spot, you know. Well, this is Japan. I'm gonna keep going, and we'll see you until I get to the PCT. You know, it should be less than a week maybe from today's date. Less than a week I'll be on trail.